when the was launched. is food. You understand? Deliberately so. If you go to any Western country, you see that food is always cheap. So why is it so? Because they know that it is one of the key things that people need to survive. So even if other things are not working well, if you can get food to eat, Yoruba have a saying that you never turn share is that if you can get food, poverty will be lessened when you have access to food. So it is that's what I think.
Well, we want to take some comments from, like when we talk about the turnouts from the southwest, and also the fact that I think Dr. Deji mentioned earlier as well about the reaction of the north being different from the reaction of the southwest, and people have, made comments saying that there may be some political undertones to it, and although it seems, is it insensitive to give credence to those notions or to discredit them as well? Like, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, for me, the what we saw in the north, personally, I am not surprised that that is the way the protest went in the northern part of the country, and the reason is because the north is is volatile. Number one, this is the region where most of the out of school children in Nigeria reside. We know that out of about, they say it's 18 million now. Sometimes we say 10 million. But one thing is certain, we have over 10 million out of school children in Nigeria. And majority of these children are in the northern part of the country. More than 70% of them are there. So when you are in a region that has so much army of children that are not in school and youth, because children grow to become youth that are not educated, you cannot really determine what they can do. They can't reason with you. So it is possible that the language that this kind of people will understand when they say go on a protest is a language of we against them. There is a language of hunger, a language of anger. And that is what you saw in those ones. You saw them looting. In fact, how can you be looting? How can you be destroying coverts? They went as far as removing coverts from the road. You wonder, what are you doing with coverts? So you can see that those children, they are just, they are confused themselves because they are also kids. They went to library, they stole dustbin, they left the books. They didn't see value in books, but they saw value in plastic dustbin. They were carrying different kinds of things. They looted rice, they looted whatever they could see. That was what they were taking. So you can see that these children, and even Borno State governor came out to say that majority of the people that protested in the state were kids. Okay, how come that is the place where only kids were protesting? The protesters we saw in Lagos, I only saw one child. And that child, they even gave him a placard to carry. And it's obvious that they were trying to showcase him for a purpose. All the protesters we saw in Lagos, in Oyo, and all the rest, they were like at least teenagers and above. Many of them were mature, were youths, let me put it. And we even saw elderly people. We saw old women, we saw old men, we saw, across different demographics, age in particular. Now, talking about, is it politically motivated? I won't rule it out. It's possible. Because even when protesters have the best of intent, it is not impossible that we have situations where some people will want to hijack it for their own purpose. And if that is it, after all, we heard when the former governor of Ekiti State, Fayemi, told Nigerians that the protest that ACN and the rest did against Jonathan was political. At that time, they said they were protesting against removal of subsidy. But he later came out to tell us, and he said it jokingly, laughingly, that that was political. We all knew what we were doing. So if some people also have political reasons behind what is going on, if they have a political aim that they want to achieve, I am not going to rule it out. You understand? But the most important thing for me is that there is hunger and there is anger. And I think Nigerians have demonstrated that in the way they went out to talk about it and to let the president know that they are not happy with his policies and that his policies have impoverished them. I think that is very important. Well, I don't know why the protests are still going on in the north and violently too. Look at it. Almost every northern state has declared 24-hour curfew. It started from Kano. It's declared it, lifted it. Borno declared, lifted. Kaduna has declared today. Bauchi has declared today, and all of that. But in spite of that curfew, people are still on the streets. So you now ask yourself, I don't know who is pushing them to the streets. Why is it that the curfew is not being obeyed? So that's why I don't know whether it is politically motivated or whether it is the hunger and the anger that is in those ones that are making them to do what they are doing. However, I know that throughout the time of former President Muhammadu Buhari, in spite of all complaints and the rest, nobody said anything in the north. In fact, when there was NSAS movement, where almost all parts of the country were involved in condemning police brutality against the youth, the northern youth and the northern part of the country was quiet. Nobody said anything. They didn't protest. So why is it now that a southern president is there? Why is it now that we are experiencing violent protests and people are raising flags of other countries and all of that? What are they trying to achieve and all of that? Well, so for those who think there could be political intonation into it, those are the reasons that will make people to think like that. And I don't really know if anybody can fault that assertion, even if we can't prove it.
Well, I want to see if there's any other closing remark that you can give, especially about what should happen going forward, especially from the Nigerian perspective, like the Nigerians.
Okay, well, let me just say something on whether the protests in North have a political undertone. My take is that, well, my favorite artist, Bob Marley, sang a song, and one of the lyrics goes like, "Them belly food there, but we hungry. An angry mob is a hungry mob is an angry mob." So for me, the first issue is that makes people go crazy is when they are hungry. And my colleague has stated before that there are a lot of
an angry man is an angry man.
That there are a lot of out of school children in the north who are not educated, who don't even get fed regularly and all that. So it's very easy for those kind of guys to, when people are talking about protesting against hunger, they will just jump out and put everything they have into it. So because you ask, let's ask ourselves, if things were okay with them, if they were in school and all that, would they be doing those things? They will not be doing them. So the society created them. So that is the first point I want to make. And going forward, I think I want to see much more serious action from the president and the governors and the local government chairmen, much more serious about tackling hunger and poverty in the land. There's no reason why anybody should go to bed hungry. That should even be something that we should all agree on. Everybody in government should agree on. There's no reason why people should go to bed hungry. So why is it so difficult to find a way to make rice cheaper, much more easy to get, and other foodstuffs? Why is it so difficult? I don't understand. You understand? Why should we be giving palliatives when you can take a lot of action to bring down prices? Because if prices are down and people can afford those things, you need to be giving them palliatives. And even the palliatives you give they are not sustainable. So you have to do something that is sustainable, bring down prices. Take in, maybe you are going to import food or whatever you are going to do. The president talked about removing tariffs on rice and stuff like that, imported rice and all of that. But my take again is that even if you remove tariff on it, with the very weak naira, how much will it get here? Will it really work and all that? So if government can put some subsidy into those things, I don't see anything wrong there. Just to ensure that people get well fed every day. I think it will reduce the anger and the pressure on the populace. But it is a fact, whether we say there is a political undertone or not, it's a fact that people are hungry and angry. And that hunger cuts across all parts of the country. I mean, it's everywhere. It's palpable everywhere.
Well, thank you so much for joining us to give us your commentary, and thank you to our viewers for joining us here on AF24 News Talks. If you want to continue hearing more from us, you can subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get a notification whenever we post new videos. Also, like and share the video if you enjoyed it and you saw some insights in what we talked about today. And you can follow us on all our social media platforms across Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and our website www.af24news.com. Thank you so much for joining us again today. Have a wonderful day.